Hi, hello all, good evening. Any one of you, have you taken the test? Like, have you written it or are you listening? No, no. Hello, yeah, any one of you students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wrote the test, sir.
Oh, okay, fine, that's nice. Okay. So, like, we'll go with the first question and we'll make it a bit interactive, okay? Like, me just like giving a monologue. I mean, I'll be feeling bored listening to myself after some time. So, better like if it's interactive, I think it would be better. So we'll see like how you also have written the answers, or I mean what understanding you have got. So in case like we'll go with the first question, we'll start with the first one, which is that Indus Valley civilization. The next slide. Now I'm giving general instructions to how to approach a question in history. That will probably take a little longer time, and after that, for each question, we will discuss. I mean, precisely the answer only. So when you look at the question, you have to understand the demand of the question, what the question is demanding. So here it is demanding religious beliefs are important aspect of social life of Harappans and enumerate. It's not asking you to critically evaluate or you see. So usually the division of questions will be either it's critically evaluate or enumerate or illustrate or discuss or comment. So all these sections, you see, comment, discuss, or enumerate, or illustrate, or expand. That usually comes under the genre, like kind of you just explain the statement. Okay, you provide your proofs or your understanding of the statement that has been given. You need not give a critical analysis or the other aspect of the question. When it is asked specifically critically evaluate, that is where you have to give the other aspect of the answer. In this case, if it is mentioned critically evaluate with help of finds, archaeological finds and results, then you have to give the other aspect where you have to show like how the archaeological findings are limited in understanding the relation of religion or the link between religion and social life. Here only it is enumerate, so you have to prove the statement with whatever knowledge, with whatever facts you have, and then you have to go with the approach kind of, yeah, the answer, especially at least in history, you should have a good introduction, good conclusion and body. And you should never make introduction and conclusion the same, because then there will be no difference between what is an introduction and what is a conclusion. I used to do many times that in the initial attempts. So that is only, you see, wasting of space and filling of space, that will not yield you any extra marks. So you have to make introduction is introduction. Introduction is like you will say what you are going to discuss in the answer, and then the body speaks about the entire discussion, and conclusion says about your opinion or not your opinion, or you see the entire gist of the answer. That's how it should be. Don't repeat the introduction and conclusion. Don't make both the same. Okay. So those are some general finds of history. And another thing is like usually history is always a thing which is a continuity. You see, one of continuity and change. It won't be like an abrupt ending or an abrupt beginning, like mass extinction of species and then again life coming up. It won't be like that. Even there it's a continuity, but in history it's usually the phrase is it's a phenomenon of change and continuity. At sometimes there will be changes which are very major and continuities which are bleak, or sometimes the continuity which is greater. For example, when you see the onset or the coming of British, there will be some disruptive changes in that sense, and or else it will be usually a gradual change and continuity. That's how usually the history will be, because that understanding will help you in approaching an answer. You see, like when you're writing about temple architecture, there it's continuity. You see, a little bit changes, little changes, little additions. It's not like they'll again start from cave architecture and then reach the Zenith. It's not like that. So that is one thing you keep in mind, especially while reading history. So we'll go with the first question. You see, religious beliefs are an important aspect of social life of Harappans, enumerate with archaeological finds and results. So here the introduction will be like with respect to the, yeah. So the introduction will be, you will show like with the help of, or with the archaeological evidences and the various finds, a clear establishment can be made between the religious and social beliefs, which can be enumerated or discussed as below. That will be a brief introduction. And there the evidences we will mention like seals, images, structures. You see, with help of this, how the connection between the social life and religious beliefs of Harappans can be established. That's a brief introduction, and then you will go to the body, where you will see all these things. You see, like I have given certain examples. You can add more, but these will make a 10 marker fine. So here, when we look at a bearded image of bearded man, is one artifact we have, and you see that establishes. You see that figure is interpreted by historians as one of a priest. You see, so that gives you a hint towards the religious life of Harappans. And once you have established, once the historian has established or interpreted it as a religious character, the next thing how you link it with the social beliefs or the social structure is it's a class structure probably, and there is a priestly class in the society of Indus Valley civilization. That is how you will establish the link. And don't make it a big explanation, just write it in few lines, 1 or 2 lines, that's all. So that is how, with the following examples, we can understand the social life of Harappans through the religious beliefs. So that is one thing. So you can understand that there is a class structure existing in the society from the religious artifact that you have found, that's a bearded man. So when you come to Pashupati Mahadeva seal, there you can see the Pashupati Mahadeva surrounded by animals and the prominence of the Pashupati Mahadeva figure, and that might have pointed towards a male pantheon, where the male or the patriarchal society. You see here, the problem with Indus Valley civilization is you can't clearly demarcate or say whether it's a matrilineal society or a patrilineal or a matriarch or a patriarchal society. There are various historians who go by various interpretations, because the greatest limitation with Indus Valley civilization is the script is not deciphered. So it goes with interpretations. So in that way, like Pashupati Mahadeva seal can point out towards a society where there is patriarchy. That is one point you will mention. And then you will go to Mother Goddess worship. You will write about various images, terracotta images of Mother Goddess or the seals that are found. These are the religious evidence, and that probably points towards the importance of women or a matrilineal society. Fine. And coming to amulets, the presence of amulets, it's point out towards a supernaturalism or beliefs of supernatural elements in the society. And then Great Bath. Great Bath is one structure found in Mohenjo-daro. So it's a religious structure. It's interpreted to be a religious structure. And when you wish to understand the social aspect of this structure, it is usually said that it's a social congregation. It's a point of social congregation or social gathering. And some historians also interpret interpret that it's a water sport, or like you see water games, and that points towards a societal aspect where entertainment is also given kind of importance, because in Indus Valley civilization you find various toys and you see dice and all. That aspect gives an understanding that they had a, you see, leisurely or laid back life, probably, we don't know. And then entertainment was given due importance, or it formed a major part of the social life. And yeah, as you have mentioned, the phallic worship. Phallic worship, it refers towards a fertility cult, worship of fertility cult. You see, and whenever there is a fertility cult, it points towards an agricultural society, and that is one important aspect I have not mentioned in the slide. To mention that the agricultural lifestyle or agriculture forms a significant occupation, or it's an agricultural society, various beliefs point towards that. One is like the phallic worship or the yoni worship, which points towards fertility cult, and fertility is, you see, generation, or you see the life kind of. And even now, like we worship, many of the images which we worship, they belong to the our social practices. Like example, in contemporary times, when you see the festival of Jallikattu, it is like, you see, it is linked to the agricultural society where bull is important, which plows the land. So that is one example you can put, like a humped seal of bull, which points towards an agricultural society. And also the worship of trees, the people tree seal and all, they point towards a society which is which is chiefly agricultural, and also some, which are agriculture and also religious. There will be many other artifacts through which you can understand the social life, but here, as the question specifically demands a connection between the religion and agriculture, you bring up only those examples, you see, because to understand, to say that it's an agricultural society, we also have clay models of bullock carts, or you see, or toys of these bullock carts and all. That also points towards an agricultural society, but a religious belief is not firmly established. Whereas in the seal of a humped bull, it is like interpreted that bull is worshipped during Indus Valley civilization, as well as we can make an establishment between the religious belief and social life. So this is the body you will write, and the conclusion will be like, from the above evidences, it can be established that the social life of Harappans have found an expression in the religious beliefs, and this expression have been you see, manifested, or these expression have been materialized through artifacts, seals, and other evidences. And thus, like you see, you can there is a great degree of understanding of the social life of Harappans through the religious beliefs. That will be the conclusion. So this is like a very, I have given many examples. Depending upon the time and how much you can recollect, you see, you can add few. That should be fine with the question.